Time to see Redux in action in a real project. So I'm back in the Burger Builder in the state we last left it at. And now let's see where we can add some Redux magic to it to make state management a bit easier. For that, in this first lecture, I want to analyze our existing project to find out which kind of state we might want to manage through Redux. So let's dive into our containers, because thankfully we already have a structure where all state management takes place in containers, and therefore we don't need to dig through all the components. It's really just a state we manage in containers we probably want to manage through Redux in the future. Let's start with the Burger Builder. If we inspect the state in this Burger Builder class here, we see that we get the ingredients of the burger we're currently building, price, and then a couple of state fields regarding the current status we have when it comes to purchasing that burger. For example, purchasing is a state we use, if we scroll down to the render method, we use to conditionally show or hide that modal. So here, state purchasing is used for that, with that order summary. Loading is used to display a spinner. And error is also used here to render different content. So if we have a look at our state, we could argue that purchasing, loading, and error are kind of local UI state. We use them here to determine whether we show a modal, whether we show an error message. We could, of course, also manage that through Redux, and I won't say that this would be bad, not at all. You can definitely manage everything through Redux. But there also might not be a necessity to do so. So what's definitely interesting to manage through Redux though is the ingredients and the total price of the burger. Purchasable, if we have a look at where we use that, we can see that if we scroll down, we pass purchasable to our build controls and there to unlock the order button. So if we inspect the burger build controls component and see what we do with the purchasable props there, we use it to switch the button here, the order now button, from disabled to enabled and the other way around. So this also is more the UI state. We change something on the UI. It might not be super important for us to manage that through Redux. Though, of course, you could also say purchasable, the value it takes, depends in the end on the burger we configured. So we'll have to see where we add this. Definitely a Redux case are ingredients in the total price though. Let's have a look at checkout. If we go to the checkout component, there, if we scroll up, we quickly see that we also have ingredients and price here. This already is a strong case for using Redux because here we have that issue of passing the ingredients through query params. And it would be awesome if we can get rid of that. It would also be awesome if we, in the render method of the checkout component, could change the way we render this route so that we don't have to use this way just to get the ingredients to contact data. Instead, once we do actually manage the ingredients state in our Redux store, we can just render this component here, and in contact data we can connect this through the connect higher order component to the Redux store so that we get the ingredients here too. Because in the contact data component, if we have a look at the state, we of course got our order form, all these controls, and I want to leave them here because that again is local UI state. We don't really need information about our form here anywhere else in the application. But we also, of course, do take advantage of the ingredients, which we get through props, so we don't see them in the state here. So in the contact data, the state is really just all the UI state here, handling the form. But we get some props here, which we in the future might directly get from the Redux store instead of passing them here with this workaround we're currently using in the checkout container. Now in the orders component, there we also have the orders in the state. Now the orders are actually fetched from the server, and we haven't learned how to fetch data from a server, how to handle asynchronous actions, as HTTP requests of course are, together with Redux. So orders is something I'll take a look at later once we had a closer look into how to handle asynchronous code in Redux 2. For now, let's focus on synchronous code, and over the next lectures, let's implement Redux, move our state to it, and connect our containers to Redux. Definitely feel free to move on your own, and then solve it together with me over the next lectures. But if you don't feel as comfortable yet, try your best, go as far as you know how to do things, and then we'll build this together.